We're going to set up the pole and drape backdrop. If you didn't have the pillowcase backdrop, the other option is a pole and drape, which is going to be in this black and blue and purple ski bag. So first thing to do is to open it up and pull all the poles out. We've got basically 3 sets of poles. There are sets labeled C, there are sets labeled D, and a set labeled A. And C poles, there should be 3 of them. So you have one small internal labeled C on the outside here. See, this is the small one, and then the bigger ones have this big knob on them. And so those go on the outside of it. So look for the ones labeled C. Here's C. And so that will go on this pole. And you put the little pole, C pole, into the bigger pole, and just go one hole down and pop it on in there. Jake, you can do D. Here's the other end. So we have 2 of the big ends going on this central smaller one. So again, big end of C onto the smaller end, down one snap, and this is going to make our 8-foot connection. So C we're going to put at the bottom. And D, Jake, you just made for the top. That doesn't look quite right. So this is the center.
Good.
And here's the other end. Yeah. So there's 2 ends, one on each side. So then we have both of our C and D poles there. Then we have the A poles, which are our sides. And we have our big heavy yoga bag here, which has the feet. This has the base plates in it. And I'm actually going to place these poles, these small 6-inch yellow feet pole or silver feet poles, match my hat, in this bag as well, so we can keep them together because they're the base plates. So open up the base plate. And the base plates, these big black base plates, and they're very heavy, which is how we keep it steady. And what's awesome about them, oh, this one's nice and dirty, is one side is nice and flat, the other side has an indentation, and that's where the screw goes. So of course we should clean this crap off. Find something to clean it with. But as Jakey's doing there, we take the screw out of the 6-inch pole, unscrew that screw, and of course the curvature of the screw goes into the bottom of the base plate where that space has curvature and sits in there. Then you just turn it over, place the silver thing on there, screw it on like a foot, like a leg. And this is our base plate leg. We're going to put this indentation to the back, facing the wall, for no apparent reason. And we're going to have both sides of that. And then you're going to take the A poles here that have these black extenders on them with these little tongues. And you press the tongues and then they extend. Press the tongues up and it can come down or up from that point. They're a little bit finicky, so you just got to play with them and then you go up and down. So then these poles, as you see, the bottom of the pole has this connector here, and this is what D is going to attach up into. So the connection point of D is going to snap up into that, and then we're going to have the ability to have the poles snapped up and tightened down into it. So put these just standard on the poles, very simple. Then we're going to grab our drape, like our stretch fabric, which should have been in the costume bag generally, or if it's just out separate, then it looks like that. And you can either have the red sparkle or the disco side. So we'll go disco today. It's that kind of day, disco day. So we take the side, the side that's got a hole running through it, and Jakey's going to run side C, pole C through this. It can be certainly done by one person. We'll run that through. Try to not rip it, please. And then extend that out. And I'd love for Jakey to bring that one down on that side so we have it started at the bottom. Yep, bring it all the way down. Watch your fingers. And then we will place this facing down into the slits. I'm going to get this closer so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so we got slits in this thing here. So Jakey's placing that into. As he moves, you can see that it's got these little slits in here that you just place this into. And then we raise it up. We raise the roof on this thing until the drape just comes right off the ground. So we'll do the top. We'll do the top one first. Yep, do the top black one. Yep. No, you're doing the bottom one right now.
This is this one.
You see how you don't have one of these?
Oh, I thought you were saying the opposite.
So we'll raise that up until we get this just coming off the ground. And then once we basically have that coming off the ground, we're gonna slide. Whoop, go too far?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, so maybe it's good to have this, maybe it's good to have the black hole here a little up. Actually, I think I was doing that wrong and Jakey was right. Let's bring it back down. This is only my second time setting this thing up here, so I'm a little new to it.
It's all crooked. So yeah.
So bring up the bottom one.
No, start with this. Yeah.
Start with this one up first. Sorry, start with the top one first. That's the correction here. And take it up take it up about 3-4 feet and make sure it's kind of the same height on both sides.
Like that.
Yep, and then once we want to get the entire thing, so bring the second latch up a little higher until the tarp is just coming off the ground, and then we're going to run this one through side D, facing with the connectors facing up. So as we pull it into this bottom connection here, I'll show you what Jakey's doing here. As you can see down there, it's going to snap up into it. So if we raise it up at this point, it's going to get nice and tight. A little too tight. I can't get mine in because yours is too tight. So you have to bring yours down a little bit. We got to have them both. Yeah. Keep it coming down. So this getting this attached to the bottom part is kind of the hard part. So you got to get it kind of right in there and have just enough tension to where you can still maneuver it, and then raise the poles up. Raise the poles up so there's nice tension on it, and then stretch it out nice, and so we have a disco backdrop. We get the disco backdrop. Very good. Boom. And if you needed it to be basically any thinner, if we can't have it as wide, if the venue has a small space, we can take poles C and D and make them shorter, put them deeper into themselves, and then only use so much of this fabric and just have it hanging off the sides or whatever we need to do if it needs to be a tight enclosed space.